What up, y'all? On today's video, I'm doing a review for Mario's new album, Dancing Shadows. Y'all ready? It's lit.
I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no. I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no.
Yeah, what up, y'all? It's your boy Bright here, the R&B Kid, and you're tuned into another episode of On the Bright Side. But if this is your first time on my channel, please go ahead and consider subscribing, because on this channel I talk all things music and entertainment while keeping it real, while always trying to find the bright side of everything, alright? And after you hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit the bell next to it so you can get the post notifications. So every time I post a new video, you're gonna see it. Alright, y'all, so like I said, this is going to be a review for Mario's new album, Dancing Shadows. I'm pretty sure most of y'all know who Mario is. For all my 90s babies out there, y'all know who Mario is. But for those of you who don't know who Mario is, he was a really dope R&B singer that came about in the early 2000s with songs such as Just a Friend, his biggest hit, #1 hit, amazing, timeless R&B record, Let Me Love You, Music for Love, How Do I Breathe, Crying Out For Me, Break Up, his song Gucci Mane. All those songs were big hits back in the day. And he's now back with his 5th studio album called Dancing Shadows on his own label, New Citizen. I think it's being distributed by Empire Records. So it's been a long time coming for this album. For Mario fans, y'all know Mario put out his last album back in 2009. I was in high school in 2009. And now he's back with this new album almost a decade later. And I'm 24 now. So it's been a really long hold up for Mario. A lot has not been right with his label situation and with his business. But musically, he's always been on point, but does not, he's been struggling to really get this album out for a long time, like I said. I don't know if you guys remember, he put out a few songs back in 2013, which was supposed to be, I guess, the incarnations of an incoming album back in 2013 or 2014, but that album never really came to happen. I think it was being executive produced by Rico Love, but that album never came. I was really looking forward to whatever album he was making around that time, but it never happened. And ever since then, that album was shelved, and he's working on this new album, Dancing Shadows, for a few years now. But now we finally have it in our hands. Mario released it on October 5th, 2018. And it's a really cool album. It's a really cool mix of, like, it's like traditional R&B vibes with like some like dance and EDM and like house vibes in there as well, some pop vibes, and also some like throwback retro soul R&B funk vibes too. So I just wanted to definitely do this review for you guys because I feel like Mario is a gem. He's literally one of the greatest voices in male R&B, and I didn't want this album to kind of go by the wayside because it's kind of been falling under the radar, but I love this album, so I definitely wanted to do a quick review for you guys. So you already do it? Let's do it. Okay, so starting off, we have the first track, Drowning, which is the first single off the album. I have to admit, guys, when I first heard the song back in the summer, I really did not like this song. I didn't like it at all. But it's kind of grown on me. I don't know, it's kind of grown on me. I feel like it's not a bad song, but to me, it just didn't really... There was something about it where I didn't connect with it. I feel like it was written well, it was sung well, it was produced well. It wasn't my favorite type of Mario song because it's leaning more towards the pop side, but I'm not mad at him for that choice because obviously, I'm not mad at him kind of going more down the pop route to get more fans and to get those numbers up. And I don't blame him and his team for thinking a more pop sounding song was the way to go for the lead single to kind of get more attention on himself in the project. Although I do love the the R&B side of Mario more, but there was just something about the song where even though I felt like it was constructed well, I just didn't connect with it. I just felt like it was kind of basic, but I think over time I've kind of liked it more and more. And after hearing the album a couple of times, I actually like the song now. So I'm not, I mess with it now. He did perform the song with Wendy Williams. I think the performance was a little bit dry, and that's also because the Wendy Williams crowd is always dry as fuck. But it's still a cool song for what it was. It's pretty much a song talking about how, and he said it's pretty autobiographical. It's just him talking about how he, if you listen to the song, it's pretty much talking about how he's drowning in the waters of one woman while another woman that he was with before, who was his ex, is drowning in her own tears because of the fact that they're no longer together and because he's with this new woman. So Mario says that was based on a true story about what he's going through in his life, where he broke up with his ex and he was over here getting it in with a new chick while he was still thinking about his ex. So he was kind of stuck between the two worlds of drowning. He's drowning a new woman, but then his old woman is drowning her own tears. So it was really cool, like well-written song. When I first heard it, I thought it was kind of basic, but after a while, it kind of gets, it kind of gets into you. So I've gotten into it now, and I think it's a vibe now. So I mess with Drowning. Definitely not the best song on the album, but it's a cool song, and I'm not mad at the single choice. It's pretty good song. Alright, so after the track Drowning, we have the track Too Many Options. This was a really cool track. One of the more R&B tracks on the album. Really vibe. I love the production on it. I love the beat. I love the way it was constructed. And it was really like low-key and like lo-fi, like really a late-night vibe. But it was cool. It was pretty much about Mario saying like, listen, like you got too many options out here in these streets, and that's not a good thing, but you can just take me and you'll be good with that. So this was a cool little song. It was cool. Like I said, not one of the best tracks off the album, but I definitely enjoyed this track as well. So definitely a cool record. I liked what he was saying on it. And after Too Many Options, we have the track Dancing Shadows. This was a really interesting track in terms of the way it was produced and just constructed. I don't know if I've gotten into all the lyrics like yet. It was a really like kind of like abstract song. And Mario said he named this album Dancing Shadows after the concept or theory of dancing shadows, which I'm not really that familiar with, but apparently it has something to do with like how things like balance out in life, dancing shadows. I'm not really sure how it works. If you know, let me know down below. But this song was one of the more like EDM, electronic, like vibes on the album. Really cool. I enjoyed it. It's really has like another, you know, so look, late night vibe on it. It has like a really stuttering, like warbling synthesizer on it. That's really cool. Yeah, so I think it's a cool song. I was like, doo, doo, doo. You know, I like that part in the pre-hook. So that was nice. And then after Dancing Shadows, we have the track Mirror. A highlight for me. Love this song. I think this song should be, after it goes like that, I think this should be the next single off the album, if he can be, you know, afforded another one. But to me this was an instant highlight of the album. I love Mirror. This song is pretty much just saying, listen, you gotta look at yourself in the mirror and look and, you know, remind yourself of your worth and what you deserve in life and for yourself, for your relationship, all that stuff. And I feel like obviously Mario was talking to a woman in the song, but I feel like this really was a universal track that could be, you know, told to men and women. Like it was just a dope track talking about, listen, like you need to look yourself in the mirror and remind yourself that you're worthy of having the best of everything you want in life. And so it was really dope. Yeah, and also it pretty much just saying look in the mirror and like realize like who you are too. Like, you know, confront your mistakes and confront all that you are when you look yourself in the mirror. And it was all done against a really like cool vibey like futuristic R&B beat. I really fuck with the song. It instantly was one of my highlights from off the album. And like I said, definitely, in my opinion, I definitely think it should be a single. Okay, after the track Mirror, we have the track Gold Plates. This was a really interesting track. Kind of like Dancing Shadows. I'm not sure if I've really gotten into this song lyrically. I don't know if I'm in love with the way the lyrics were, you know, created and arranged. But in terms of the vibe, it's definitely a cool track. It really is like based in like, it really has a, at the chorus, it has like a really cool hip hop vibe to it, but in its production, it really is reminiscent of like UK, like house, garage music, which I love that sound. I've said it many times on my channel, but if you've not heard me say it before, I really love house music. I just love that vibe. There's just something about house, like especially like deep house music, that I just love. That sound just gets me. Like I just love that sound. So this song really has that sound in there. More so like instead of regular house, it really has more of like the UK house and garage sound in there. It's really like a flex track, just talking about like, you know, getting everybody together, like raise up, and just like it's really celebratory track. I really like the vibe on it. It's really cool. It's probably one of the only tracks that sounds like on the album, so it stands out, and I liked what it created. I like what it gave to the album. But so this was really cool. Gold Plates, yeah, definitely should not be a single, but I like this track for what it was. Alright, right after Gold Plates, we have another celebratory track called Good Times, featuring Buddy Guy. To me, this is also another highlight of the album. I love this song. It has a nice little retro throwback R&B feel to it, while it still sounds modern at the same time. This pretty much the song saying like, listen, there's no reason why we can't have a good time. Let's all get together, have a good time in the midst of all the shit going on in the world. Let's get together and just turn up. So this is a nice little like turn up track, but it still had a really nice R&B quality to it. I loved how, like I said, I just love how it had like a mixture of like a throwback, classic R&B parties, you know, record to it, but it still sounded like fresh and modern at the same time. So I really like this track. I think it was probably one of the best tracks of the album to me, and I just loved the vibe of it. I love what Mario did on this song. I really feel like this is also be another great single choice. I don't think Mario's gonna get that many single choices, but I would love for the song to become a single because I think it's worthy of it. And I'd love to see a video for this song. I just think this song just makes you feel good when it comes on, so I definitely rock with this song. Okay, right after Good Times, you have another highlight for me, which is the track What You Started. This song was really unexpected for me in terms of not only the theme, but also just the way it kind of sounded on this album. This is a highlight because I think to me it gave me the best of both worlds in terms of a song with not only like a dope beat, great production, nice, you know, instrumentation, had real instruments on it. I love I believe, was that a set? Oh no, it was horn. I love the horns on the song. They were real horns. But also it has a great message to it. It's pretty much was just a song saying, listen, like I know life gets hard. I know you come into struggles, but you have to finish with what you started. Like whenever you start things, you have to just finish them out. Like finish what you started. So I love how Mario just had that like low-key, like really deep message in there. This album really snuck a lot of cool like messages and like, you know, inspirational concepts. They were really like hidden throughout this album, and this was one of those songs where I was just like, man, like Mario was giving me a message, but like he was giving me a bop as well. He's giving me a bop but a message. It was dope. So definitely a highlight for me. I love the instrumentation on it. It was real, it was raw. I like what he did with the vocals, and I just love the message. It was really uplifting message about never giving up in life and just finishing what you start in the midst of all the hardships you go through. So it was definitely a highlight for me. I love this song. After What You Started, we had the track called One Man Woman. This is a nice throwback classic R&B record, and where Mario was pretty much just professing that the woman he's with needs to believe that she is a one-man woman and that she only has one man in her life, and that he is not going to fuck around and play around and make sure that that's not the case. So this is a really cool song. I love it. It was well written. This is a nice R&B record, written really well, creative verses, creative hook. Cause you're one man, woman. I just love how he created this song. It was really dope. Really sophisticated, great message. You know, Mario's on some mature shit these days, and this is a great example of the maturity that he showed in this album. You know, he's like 30 something now. Like all our 2000s artists, they're grown now. So I love that he's in a different point in his life where this is what he's aiming for, having a relationship where he can believe that he's the only woman. I mean, he's the only man in this girl's life. So this was dope. A highlight for me also sonically, because this was probably one of the best like throwback sounding records. It really had an old soul to it, had an old, you know, old school retro, you know, soul vibe to it. But it was done well, and it didn't sound cheesy, it didn't sound dated, it sounds fresh as well. So it was really dope. I love this track, and I love that he put on this album. And to me, this was one of the highlights, not only for this album, but also just in Mario's catalog too, I think. This was a great record, and I love that he put on the album. Okay, after the track One Man Woman, we have probably one of the only like ballads on the album, the track called Care For You. This song was definitely not one of the best songs off the album. It was pretty much like a regular Paint by Numbers affair. You know, this is like a regular, you know, typical ballad, but as usual, Mario sounds great on it because he never sounds bad. And I love the vocals on it. It was really like cute. It was a really cute romantic song, pretty much just saying, listen, like through all the bullshit, no matter what, I'm gonna care for you. So this just like, you know, it was like the typical stand-in romantic ballad, nothing more, nothing less. But he sounded really good on it, and it did bring some balance to the album, so I definitely appreciated that was on here. Like I said, not one of the best tracks on the album, but definitely it sounded nice, and it was a welcome inclusion. Mario, I'm surprised he didn't actually have. Actually, I don't know if I'm not surprised he didn't have ballads, because I know he was trying to go more down the EDM pop route when making this album. But I'm surprised that Carefree was like the only like ballad on the album. But it was, for what it was a really nice track, so I definitely enjoyed it. And now I have to talk about probably my favorite track off the album. After Carefree, we have the track Goes Like That. This song kind of came out of nowhere in terms of just how it sounds. It's such a different type of vibe. I don't know how to explain it. It's just the production and the way it was written. It's just really, it's a really like different song. And to me right now in the R&B landscape, this song really stands out. It's now being put out as a second single off the album, which I think is a great choice. I love the video that which I saw the other day. I just think this track sounds so good. It's being kind of pushed to streaming services. I don't know if it'll get to radio, but I love this song. And I don't even know how to explain it, because this song doesn't even make sense, but that's actually what's so good about it. Like the way it's written, the verses make sense, but the hook doesn't really make sense. He's just like, I remember how it feels to love you. I think it goes like that. It doesn't make sense, like what goes like that, but like when you listen to it, it's such a vibe. The way it was arranged, the melody that was chosen, it's just like a vibe. Like, I don't know, when I first saw the song I was like, this is kind of weird, but then when I heard it again I was like, okay, no, I can really get into this. It's a really cool song. I love I love like the weird like warbling synthesizer on the track. Like I said, the way it was written was just so creative. So this is definitely probably one of my favorite tracks off the album. I just love the way it was created. It's a really different track. It doesn't sound like anything else out right now, and it stands out, so I love it. It's probably my favorite track off the album. I love this song. So definitely go check out Goes Like That. Go check out the video, it was dope. And go like support it on the streaming services, because it's being pushed to all like the major playlists right now, so go support it. Yeah, it should be on all the major ones, so definitely go support it. It's lit. Alright, y'all, and then to end off the album, we have the track I Believe. After Goes Like That, this is a nice, cool, positive way to end off the album. This track was like a pop track, but really had, you know, at its core, it was a really like nice, like, it had like elements of like old school retro funk and soul in there. Oh yeah, so it was really cool mix of like futuristic EDM with like old school retro soul in it, and it was a nice way to end off the album. Like I said, pretty much just saying, Mario was pretty much just saying like, listen, I believe that like we can be, I believe that it's you and me. And it was really nice, like positive romantic way to end the album. And I don't think, you know, I'll just say I'll leave it at that. Okay guys, so all in all, I enjoyed this album heavily. I really did, as a big Mario fan. I will say after 9 years, this album, I don't think it exactly lives up to an album you would be waiting for 9 years. I'll say that. Like, this album didn't give me like, oh my god, like, you know, this dude been gone for like a decade, he about to smash, he about to just give me like a crazy album. It wasn't really that. This album was just nice, it was good. But I think because, like I said, I think because Mario fans have been waiting for so long, it was kind of impossible for Mario to make the kind of album that's gonna be like, you know, like a lifelong classic. Because I just think there was a lot of hype. Not I'm gonna say a lot of hype, but there was I think kind of somewhat of a hype on this album that you can't really like quench when you waited for so long. But even regardless of that, I still think this is a great project. Mario really worked with a lot of new people, no past producers or songwriters he's worked with. He really worked with mainly with this guy called Jake Gosling, and I think the sound he gave Mario for most of his album was really good. I think they're a good match. He did some other producers, a dude named Dicom and another dude named like The Weed Fam or Fam. But yeah, mostly this album was mostly produced by Jake Gosling. I think him and Jake Gosling are a good pair. I liked what they did in terms of the sonic mixture on this album. I probably think, like most Mario fans, I thought Mario was gonna give us like a straight like R&B album, but I think Mario's just kind of off that. And not only do I think he wants to experiment, but I think also just to kind of widen his fan base in 2018, he didn't want to make a strictly R&B album. So I'm not mad at him for that choice. The only reason I wanted him to make a real like just a strictly R&B album is because I feel like that's where his voice shines the most. But like I said, I'm not mad at him for wanting to widen his fan base and to also kind of reach new places in the world and reach new fans who might have never reached before by trying out these new sounds. And that leads me to probably one of my only issues with this album is the fact that I feel like this album didn't really allow. I mean, Mario was singing throughout this album. Don't get it twisted. Mario was singing. He was singing throughout this album. But I feel like this album, for the most part, didn't allow him to like really show that he literally is like one of the illest vocalists like of like his generation. Like, people don't realize that, but like he really is like one of the illest vocalists of his group. Like, but he's always one that was slept on. I don't know why, but like if you really like dig into his catalog and like dig into like his unreleased shit, dude can blow. Like, it's not even a debate. He's literally one of the illest vocalists like of his generation. But this album didn't allow him to show it like that for the most part because of the way it was leaning more towards like the pop and EDM sound. But for what it was, I think him and all the producers really did a good job of like combining everything in a really cool mixture, and everything really was cohesive for the most part. Nothing really hit you over the head, but everything was really well done and cohesive for the most part. So that's you know, when you give me that, I'm not that mad at the end of the day. Highlights for me, I would say, are probably Mirror, love that song, Good Times, What You Started, One Man Woman, and Goes Like That. Those are probably the highlights for me. Those are probably my favorite tracks. There wasn't really any track that I really didn't like off this album. The tracks that were kind of like, they were like but I still enjoy them, I guess, were Drowning, I guess I'd say Dancing Shadows, and Care For You. Those songs were not bad, but it was kind of like, but I still enjoyed them, so I'm gonna still rock with them regardless. But yeah, that's how I feel about it. And if I were to give this album a rating, I think I can comfortably give this one a 4 out of 5. But let me know what y'all think about that rating down below. Alright y'all, but that was my review for Mario's new album, Dancing Shadows. I gave y'all my review, I gave y'all my thoughts on all the tracks, I gave y'all my rating. Now I want to know what you guys think. If you're a fan of Mario, or even if you're not a fan of Mario, let me know what you thought about the album down below. Let me know what your favorite tracks were, your least favorite tracks. Let me know if you thought the album was amazing, if you were disappointed by the album, if you would have wanted Mario to make this album any different type of way. Let me know. Just let me know what you think about this album and all that down below in the comments. I'll try to talk to you guys if I can, alright? I appreciate y'all. And yeah, I guess if you haven't already, hit this video with a like, share this video, and subscribe to my channel, okay? I appreciate y'all. And also follow me on all my socials, okay? Follow me on all my socials. And also guys, like I always say, continue to live your best life, drink more water, stay woke, and if you're mad or sad, go listen to your favorite song, make it feel better, okay? Go listen to your favorite song. But this has been your boy Bright, R&B Kid. Thank you for watching, but for now, I'm signing off, baby. Bye, y'all.
I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no, 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 no. I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no, no, no. Relax just a little bit. You don't gotta worry, you can just have fun.